Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rekal Kadash, giving double honor to the apostle Edel's great millstone, peace and blessings to brothers pushing his truth and sincerity, and abide Babal. So, brother Apostle Kadash, coming to you again with another lesson. All right. And this time, I'm talking about the Israelite foreigner. All right. Because, I've even seen this in person a lot of times when you'll have a so-called heathen, someone who look like a heathen, or they just don't look so-called black, right? And people will hit them with he's a culture vulture, right? Or he's he's acting black. That's something they'll say a lot. But the scriptures tell us that the spirit beareth witness, right? That's why you'll have niggas in the hood say, well, that's a cool ass white boy. Whole time he an Israelite. He not even maybe on the outside he a white boy, but on the inside he an Israelite. He ain't no Edomite. Right? Not saying because somebody cool that make them an Israelite either. But a lot of times when you could be around that person, they don't like a nigga. A lot of times they really is a Israelite. 9 times out of 10, not always. But the spirit gonna always show you. All right. This is 1 Samuel 16:7. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. All right, the word countenance go back to sight, appearance, or what is seen. So men, we use our eyes, not just men, women. You speaking like mankind for real, but we use our eyes to see and judge people for real. But the Lord, he know how you really is on the inside. He know whether you sincere, whether you're really humble, whether, whatever, who you really are. And this was even the time where it was getting to like David. But the whole point was he didn't look, David ain't look like no king, if we being blunt and blatant about it. Because they was overlooking him. They didn't even consider him for real. They was looking at his brothers. They worked the field. They were bigger, stronger, right? Taller, all of those things. He was small, little guy, right? He was a sheep. He kept the sheep. He was a shepherd. People wasn't looking at him as no leader or nothing at first. So it's about the inward man. The Lord says about the inward man. So it's the same thing with the Israelite foreigners, right? You're not gonna have no fucking elect member who look like Israelite foreigner just fall short because he don't look like a so-called Negro. It's not gonna happen like that. If you an elect member, you're going to get saved. Whether you look like an Asian man, whether you whatever you look like. Shit. This is Leviticus 26:33. And I will scatter you among the heathen and withdraw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate and your cities waste. Desolate means deserted, all right, or empty, right? So the Lord, he been told us our people was going to be kicked out of our land, and also we was going to be scattered. What happened when the Israelite man move around? First thing he do, he plant the seed. And as we always like to bring up the Blake Griffin situation, because Blake Griffin dad is a dark-skinned Benjamite, or he's brown-skinned for sure. He's a darker-skinned fella. He had a baby with a white woman, and then you get Blake Griffin, a light-skinned Jake. Blake Griffin had a baby with a white woman. His son looked like an Edomite, blonde hair, blue eyes. Right? He looked like an Edomite, but we can literally see his lineage 2 generations away is a dark-skinned Benjamite. I think he a Benjamite. He just a dark-skinned Jake, though. So what is his salvation? Is he no longer under the promise or the covenant? Yes, he is. Well, that little kid, he's under the covenant of being an Israelite. Right. And he doesn't look like it. We can even look it up real quick. I'm going to put on the screen. Blake Griffin's dad. This is a picture of Blake Griffin's dad. This nigga black as hell. You can't tell me that ain't a Jake. And right next to him is a picture of Blake Griffin. That's his mom to the right. That show you right there. Bro, look at this dude. Blake Griffin, he like a light-skinned nigga, bro. Look at his dad. Nigga is black as hell. That's a nigga for sure. Blake Griffin, he's a light-skinned nigga. And then we show you a picture of his son. All right. This is a picture of Blake Griffin's son. He be like a little white baby. Look, you can't tell me he don't look like no Edomite. He got blonde hair and blue eyes, pale skin. But that's an Israelite. How do we know this? Let me get, this is just a quick cut. Numbers 1 and 18. And it literally says, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees. We're going to look into that word pedigree real quick. It said pedigree is a chart. A pedigree chart is a diagram that shows the occurrence or an appearance of phenotypes of a particular gene or organism and its ancestors from one generation to the next. Most commonly, humans show dogs and raise horses. So pedigree is basically showing where you come from, right? Phenotypes. But if you want to get even more into it, a record of descent, right? It said record of descent right there. So right here, they was declaring they record of descent, who they descend from, and it said they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers. All right. So they said, so if your dad was a Benjamite and your mom was a Judite, you was a Benjamite, and it's still like that. It's nothing new. All right, because when you look at the beginning of our nation with Jacob fucking wife wasn't no technically speaking, she wasn't a no Israelite, because everybody under that came from Israel, his name was Israel, is an Israelite. So what? What about the handmaidens? So what? Now we got heathens in our nation? Like, no, bro, we Israelites. According to our father's lineage, it don't matter what your mom is. That's why you take your dad's last name. You simpleton niggas. Right? But this next verse I wanted to grab, Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Who is the stranger? Is you mean to tell me this stranger is a heathen? No. This stranger is talking about the Israelites who don't know they're Israelites. Those Israelites from foreign lands. All right? The ones who look like Moab. The ones who lost their heritage, really. Just if you lost your heritage, you're a stranger. But the ones who, I'm getting at the ones who don't have the curly hair, don't have the dark brown skin, don't have the hazel and black eyes. All right, even in the bone structure, you can look at a Hamite and a Jake and tell we two different people. You can just tell, bro. So the audacity of these people to say some of these things is like, who taught you niggas? Like, do you even understand why you have your father's last name? All right. But hey, I hope this was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakadash. All right, giving double honors to the Apostle Elders Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to brothers pushing this truth and sincerity in a Bible.